The Young Man's Manifesto, Chapter 8, Taking Care of Yourself. This may sound obvious, but you only get one body. In body I include the mind because they are intertwined. Read further for explanation. Taking care of yourself is super important, and some people completely abandon this so they can focus on other goals. Well, I got news for you. You'll have other goals for the next forever, so you need to find a way to be put together and make things work within the context of being alive and doing other things all the time. We send signals to people all around us by the way we talk, how we dress, how we smell, and what condition our bodies are in. Despite being told in grade school that no one should judge a book by its cover, we all do. The cover can actually tell you a lot about the book. Usually, there's a summary of the story on the back. Those grade school teachers were lying to you. Covers matter, and how you present to the world is your proverbial book cover. Hygiene. The first part we need to discuss is hygiene. If you grew up with older sisters like I did, then you probably don't need to read this because they harassed you into good habits early on. For the rest of you here who weren't so fortunate as to experience this high-level shaming into social conformity, I'm going to give you a clear and somewhat universal guide, with much less shame involved. You need to be clean. This usually involves soap and deodorant of some kind. Showering is super important in Western society. You need to wash your butt, balls, and armpits, and for the love of all things, wash out under your foreskin. Just in case no one told you, you'll stink, and other people will notice. Don't run too hard in the other direction either, wearing too much smelly stuff or obnoxious amounts of cheap body spray. Avoid that. A clean and pleasant odor will help give you a more professional vibe regardless of your profession, unless you work in a place where perfume is banned, in which case there's unscented soap. I recommend showering after bouts of sweaty athleticism or once every 1 to 3 days depending on your natural level of stank. If you're predisposed to the hippie mindset of only nature bro, then use natural products that achieve similar ends. There are lots of companies that make natural soap and deodorant. Just be aware that they don't work as well as the chemicals, so although you avoid cancer or whatever, you may just have to use them more often. Regularly trim all parts of you that grow, specifically hair and nails. Get haircuts or learn to cut your own hair if you can't afford it. Make sure that your facial hair is somewhat organized too. I'm not one of those clean shaven is the only way guys, but if you have a beard, trim it. Even stubble can be acceptable as long as you don't get into that not quite beard but not quite homeless territory. Clip your toenails and fingernails. I'm a little more stringent about this just because I'm into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but this is still important for non-grapplers. Unless you're a classical guitar player, having long nails is not cool or necessary. People do notice these types of things when they shake your hand or see you wearing sandals. There is nothing worse than work boot fungus toes in the wild. The way you dress is important too. I'm not saying that you can't have style on your own time, but like I said before, people are looking at your book cover and judging. They just can't help it. If you look like you just got out of bed all the time, you may get passed over for an opportunity in the workplace, or opportunities in general. No, this isn't fair, but like I said in previous chapters, life isn't fair, and I'm trying to tell you how to operate effectively in observable reality. The term dress for success exists for a reason, so dress in the way that's effective in your given field, whether that means work pants and high-vis or a suit and tie, as well as everything in between. Fitness. Being fit is extremely important. Your body is the one thing you take with you everywhere, into every interaction, and people judge it. Now understand that there are fundamental differences and variation in body types. We're all unique. Everyone will look different even if they have the same level of fitness. I'm going to outline the basics of what I have found to work, and you might have something different than works for you, and that's awesome. I'll outline some basic things that will help beginners and intermediates. There are 3 major factors to go over: food and nutrition, sleep, and training. Food and nutrition. What you eat is important. With obesity running wild in our society, I feel like this is rather obvious. A general simple rule of thumb is to eat things that have the least amount of processing required that require refrigeration. For example, the chicken that you cook in a pan came from a chicken, one ingredient with minimal processing. Doritos came from 34 ingredients that are all going through 3 to 4 separate processes each. Don't get me wrong, I love Doritos, but I try to eat them less than chicken and not make them the building block of my nutrition. And before the hippies come out with pitchforks, yes, you can do organic and grass-fed and all that other holistic stuff, but that's expensive. So unless you would like to prioritize that, just try to eat things that you have to cook and consume lots of protein to maintain muscle. Now let's talk about portions. Despite what anyone says about thyroid problems, no one has ever broken the laws of thermodynamics. Calories in, calories out. The hard part here is knowing how many calories your body consumes on average, and then how many you're actually burning. I do this all intuitively in a way that works for me with intermittent fasting. I just don't eat until I'm hungry. But to do this method, you need to actually know what hunger feels like. If you've never missed a meal in your life, try just drinking water and not eating for 24 hours. You'll notice that after that, you're hungry. That's what actual hunger feels like. Another way you can do this is to eat until you're about 80% full. You feel like you could eat more, but you're still satisfied. And yet another way you can do this is to just watch the scale. Weigh yourself in the morning every day, take the average over 14 days, and see if that average is going up or down. One final way you can do this is just to focus on eating large quantities of protein. We have 2 forms of hunger satiation. One is driven by amino acid concentration, protein consumption, and one is driven by actual fullness of the stomach. If you eat a bunch of chicken or pork or beef, then don't feel like eating more of the same thing. You know that you have enough sustenance, even if your stomach isn't full. If you do this method, prepare to be very gassy initially. The diarrhea will be warlike, and it can be very expensive as well. I will briefly mention supplements. I'm no nutritionist, so take this with a grain of salt. But it may be helpful to you to take a multivitamin and some additional vitamin D and magnesium for sleep. Creatine is also known to have a significant impact on brain health and will allow you to recover from working out more effectively. I'm not a doctor, just a bro science expert, so make sure you consult a professional before doing anything that some random guy in a book tells you to do. Sleep. If you think you sleep enough, you probably don't. You need anywhere from 6 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Try making sure that you're getting that. There are all kinds of tips and tricks that you can use to go to sleep that have been put in many other books, but I'll put the ones that have worked best for me, and hopefully it can help you as well. I'm not a sleep expert, but generally there are 5 main things that you can do to avoid the chronically tired state that the vast majority of people are trapped in. Don't drink caffeine 6 hours before you go to sleep. I love coffee, as I'm sure some of you also do, but caffeine is a potent chemical that will stay in your body for quite a while. I've found that no caffeine after 3 p.m. tends to be a good rule of thumb. Avoid bright light about 1 to 2 hours before you go to sleep. Bright light gives our bodies the signal to wake up and stay awake. Getting away from this can be very challenging as our modern world is permeated with screens and artificial light. Despite this, there are digital tools that you can use, apps and screen coatings, or mild light blocking glasses that you can wear that will help keep you from the harmful effects of bright light right before you sleep. Keep your room as dark and cool as possible. This is especially important for night shift workers, but applies to everyone generally. Light, as stated previously, tells us to stay awake, so make sure that you have as little light as possible in your bedroom while you sleep. I find that a cheap sleep mask can do the trick in a pinch, but blackout blinds and taping over light sources, weird little LEDs from chargers and stuff, with black electrical tape is also a helpful thing to do. Humans sleep best anywhere from 17 to 19 degrees Celsius, 62.6 to 66.2 for you Americans. So try to keep things in that range. Move your phone out of the bedroom. There are studies that show that having your phone in the bedroom is a sleep detriment whether it's on airplane mode or not. If you use your phone as an alarm, get a watch or an alarm clock. They do the same thing. I love a good doom scroll as much as the next person, but before you know it, it's 2 a.m. and you're wondering why you do this to yourself. Just charge your phone elsewhere. It will make a big difference. Consider taking it a step further and leaving your phone at the door when you enter your home. This won't just improve your sleep, it will improve your motivation, social life, problem-solving abilities, and many other things. Research shows that watching someone else on your phone solve a problem makes your brain secrete the same reward hormones as if you did it yourself. Watching other people interact socially on your phone makes your brain secrete the same hormones as if you built a real connection with a real person in your real life. Yes, watching other people do cool things on your phone is easier, but if you don't do them yourself, your brain will think you're Tony Stark when you're actually a lazy lark. Go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. This can be difficult, especially for shift workers and new parents. But our bodies and minds love patterns, so try to give it the consistency it craves. You'll find that you're able to go to sleep faster and wake up more alert on a schedule rather than changing it up by 2 to 5 hours every day. Sleep is one of the best performance-enhancing drugs there is. It helps us balance our hormones and process all the things that happen every day. If you don't get enough, you'll notice a decline in performance in almost every other area of your life. If you don't believe me, just try sleeping consistently for a week. You'll see both your mood and cognition elevate significantly. It's weird that we need to shut off for 1/3 of Earth's spin cycle, but I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to help you live a better life based on what I know and have experienced. Physical training. Working out. Nobody likes it. Our lives and labor used to be very physical, so it wasn't really required. As our societies advanced, most work got much less physically demanding. Even if you do work a physical job, you still need to stay active in other ways to keep all of you functioning well, and not just your hammer-swinging arm. Our bodies need to be used. Use it or lose it is especially true of muscles. I don't think everyone should look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He definitely had some chemical help that you would not want to put into your body, but we do need to make sure that we are able to function well. You don't have to do this formally with weights either. You can go for runs, if you hate yourself and want to suffer, or play on a soccer league, or a pickleball team, or do karate. Literally anything active twice a week. Just make sure that you're doing something rather than nothing. If you hate team sports, guilty, or can't afford the extras right now, or have very limited time in your day due to various constraints, here are some simple workout plans and tips that take up minimal time and can help keep you healthy. The first and easiest method is to go for a 30-minute walk every day. You can throw some pull-ups and dips in there if you would like, but walking is easy, free, and you can crush out an audiobook or podcast. Just do 50 burpees as fast as you can every day. If you do this once a day or even once every 2 days, work up to it and look up a tutorial on how to do a burpee correctly, you'll be in relatively good shape and keep your body strong and healthy. Every minute on the minute, or EMOM, do 5 chin-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 bodyweight squats for 10 minutes. When I was a new dad, I couldn't afford to go to the gym, and this workout kept me in pretty good shape for about a year. Pavel Tsatsouline's kettlebell routines, or any other quick kettlebell workouts. Look them up on YouTube. There's a cost barrier, kettlebells are expensive, but these functional routines are awesome for a quick and effective full body workout. Just make sure your technique is dialed in so you don't get an injury. And now, my personal favorite is the Mike Menser style once a week lifting program, because I'm lazy but still want to be jacked. For this, you need access to weights and a basic understanding of the form for the compound lifts. I would recommend 5x5 starting strength program to get your beginner gains out of the way. Then you'll do squats, bench press, weighted pull-ups, overhead press, and bent over row with 1 set each at a low weight doing 10-second reps, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, to total failure. You need to keep the rep ranges between 8 to 12 reps for maximum effectiveness, so play around until you find the weight that works for you, and trust me, it is a lot less weight than you think. I've been a fitness guy my whole life and tried a ton of different things, so I'm able to speak with a little bit of authority on this topic. Despite that, my word is not fitness gospel. Feel free to create your own plans and do what works for you as you go along. Remember that there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to fitness. Mental training. Just because you graduated high school doesn't mean you shouldn't stop learning. If you're reading this book, then you probably already know that. Our minds need to be constantly learning to stay active and elastic. Your neuroplasticity decreases as you age, but you can slow this process down by learning new skills. This process doesn't have to be a drag either. You can learn to play the guitar, or learn jujitsu, or read some of the great stories of the past, or even some of the great stories written now. I love science fiction. Just make sure that your mind is staying active. You can listen to informational podcasts, or audiobooks, or regular books, or take a pottery class. Just keep learning. Get chickens, play chess, grow lettuce in your basement. The options to learn are endless. Follow your interests. Don't get sucked into the constant consumption with inaction that our society promotes. Learn something, even if you're never going to be the best in the world or make money from doing it. There are so many different ways to keep your brain active. Stay sharp, because sharp tools are effective tools. Like I said before, your cover matters. Like it or not, the things that you do and the ways you invest in yourself are presented to the world. Everyone will judge you on it whether you like it or not. Hopefully I've given you some effective ways to improve your cover and opened up some opportunities for growth in this area of your life.